I thought I'd just hop on here for a quick second, you dig, and just talk to y'all about accountability. Because sometimes even even adults don't know how to be held accountable for their actions. In order to understand that, you really have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, am I really holding myself accountable? Because when you start holding yourself accountable, you'll start seeing the little mistakes that you're making and try to fix them rather than let those little mistakes turn into big mistakes. You don't want those big mistakes to turn into disastrous mistakes. Because all the time, you know, all the time I'm on Facebook, all the time that I'm thinking, all the time that I'm at work, I'm thinking of how, I can hold myself accountable for what I do. And that's what I do. I don't hide from the truth. I'm a man. So I like to hold myself accountable for anything I do, whether it be stuff I do in my personal life or stuff that I do at work or, stuff that I do when I go out. I like to hold myself as an adult, has that person, that knows when he's done something wrong. But the problem is, we want to lead, but have no leadership. We want to lead, but where's the leadership when you're trying to lead? Where's all that at? Because I've had to lead myself. I have a family that I have to look after. And the stuff that I've been doing, I did in my past, that's something that, I hold myself for because I'm smarter than that, I'm wiser than that. But sometimes we don't look at what we do wrong and we judge others based on their mistakes, what they do wrong, instead of looking in the mirror and saying, damn, I need to hold myself accountable for what I'm telling this person. Or damn, even if you make a mistake, don't feel bad about going back to that person and saying, you know what, my bad. That's my bad. I know I messed up on that. I'm not afraid to go back and apologize to nobody at all. If I made the mistake, then I'm gonna go back and fix it. Point blank, period. Because that's what being an adult is. That's when you know that you've matured in life, is when you find out that you've reached that point to where you can say, okay, I know I made that mistake. Now let's see if I can correct that mistake. Because there's no book on how to be an adult. There's no rules on how to be an adult. You just you go by what your mom and dad teach you, and then the rest you try to figure out on your own. Sure, mom and dad are always going to be there to guide you and give you influence you with everything. But that's up to you whether you're going to apply what you learn or you're going to be a stick in the mud and ignore your faults. Everybody has faults. I don't care how much you try to walk around and be perfect. There's only one perfect being, and he's in the sky above us. There's a lot of people that, that want to walk around like they're perfect. To me, that's ignorance. That's a lack of self-worth, because you will understand. To understand your self-worth, you got to have a sense of accountability. You have to have, in order to have leadership, you have to have accountability. Just like when I was supervising when I was in Houston. I had one supervisor job. I gave that away because I didn't know how to lead myself. I didn't know how to make how to staff people right. I didn't know how to give orders in the right manner. And then when I started to sit back and hold my tongue and really just evaluate myself, that's when I knew that I become an adult. That's when I knew that I can hold myself accountable for what I say to people and what I do to people, because what you do to people will come back on you. What you say to people will come back on you. And most people don't understand that. They think it's good to just walk around and say what they want, and there's no repercussions. There's always repercussions behind what you tell people, all the time. All the time. There's things when you tell people something, or when you do something to somebody, and you don't realize that you cutting them or you setting them up for something. And the fact is, people can say that they're grown, but really, what is grown? Grown is not an age. You can be in your 40s and be a child. You can be in your 60s and be a child. You can be in your 80s. You can be in your 30s. It doesn't matter what age you are. Grown is a state of mind. It's how you learn from everything that life throws at you. Because like I said in the beginning, there's no book. There's no rules. There's no laws on how to be an adult. You just learn by every time you going through it. And like my first lady, my first lady at church said, people gonna get mad because you tell them truth. See, that's the thing right there I like. Because I tell people truth, and for some reason, they get mad about it. And don't think that this is what I'm saying is targeted towards anybody. It's not. I do this all the time. And the thing is I've grown a lot. For the people who knew me, I've grown a lot. Things that I used to I ain't used to put up with nothing. I ain't used to put up with people talking bad about me. I used to put up with people just thinking that they can get over on me, thinking that I was a pushover. But when you learn to close this and use this, that'll get you further than using this. Because if you use this, that's all you need. Because then you're getting everything you know just by using your ear. You'll learn more by using your ear and closing your mouth. Sometimes most people have a problem with just keeping their mouth closed, and I've been going through a lot this last week. About last week I've been going through a lot. But never do I just, take it out on nobody. I sit at home, I think, and I think, and I think. And that me thinking has kept me from lashing out, being angry. Because if I lash out, then I'm going to be held accountable rather than holding my own self accountable. See, most people don't understand what self-accountability is. You got to understand what self-accountability is in order to make it in life. You want to make massive amount of money? Learn self-accountability. Learn how to accept truth. Learn how to learn how to just give truth, give facts, and give positive motivation to people instead of just sitting back and letting people tell you who you are. Because like I tell everybody, I'm my mama's child. That's who I think I am. And when you lash out at people, when you talk shit to people, that makes your parents look bad. Now, if somebody get in your face, by all means, handle your business. That's what my parents always taught me. If somebody want to get in your face, you handle your business. But don't ever go up to people expecting them to respect you, because they don't know how to hold themselves accountable for what they're doing. So what makes you think that they're gonna respect you when they can't have a sense of self accountability? That's why people get stuck in the same positions they're in, because they don't have that. They don't have positive reinforcement. They don't have accountability. They don't have none of that stuff going on in their life. Nothing. They don't sit back and think, how can I be a better person? They go back home and think, how can I make somebody's life more miserable? How is it that, for the simple fact that somebody could be having a bad day and you just don't know how to go up to them and talk to them, you want to just blast them, I don't understand that. It's because they hate themselves. They look in the mirror and they hate themselves for what they're doing to themselves. Mentally, they're messed up. Emotionally, they're a wreck. So their only way is to have a bully mindset. They have a bully complex. So they're going to be like, because you hate yourself, you got to prove yourself to somebody. My name is Brandon Lastic. I don't have to prove nothing to nobody. I go to work every 4 days with a positive mindset. I don't care what this person has said about this person at work. I don't care about none of that. What I care about is the woman at home and my parents. I care about my woman's parents too. That's the only people's opinion I have to care about. Because if I care about what everybody else say, how can I lead my house? How can I lead my family if I'm caring what everybody else is saying about me? That's when you know you've grown up and you just want to go to work and do your job and go home. That's the difference, and that's why I keep saying self-accountability is a very important factor in growing up. Because that's why so many people fall off the wagon. That's why there's so many uneducated kids in this world, because there's no self-accountability. And I'm thankful for the friends that I had in Houston, that I still have, because that circle of friends right there is the reason why I am how I am now. Because, and I keep saying it, I keep mentioning it, Amarillo compared to Houston, there's no comparison. There's no comparison. You know what I'm saying? If you can make it in Houston, you can make it in anywhere in Texas. And I'm just, it's vexing because grown adults don't know when to have a self-worth about themselves. Because like I said before, in order to know what self-worth is, you have to know what self-accountability is. You got to hold yourself accountable on the job. You got to hold yourself accountable at home. You got to hold yourself accountable in public. Because you're not just representing yourself, you representing your family. You representing your job. You representing everybody you work with. You know what I'm saying? You represent a lot of people. So my message today is understand your self-accountability. Get that. Understand it. If you don't understand it, you gotta learn quick. You have to learn that real quick. Because if you don't learn it, this life gonna eat you up. Because I'm not gonna go back to what people don't know what I've been through, and people don't know what I've done. And that's not their business. But I know every day I hold myself accountable for what I did. So my message is just hold yourself, be accountable for what you do. If you talk mess to somebody, have enough girth to go to them and say it to their face. But don't say it to where you want to fight them. Just be like, hey man, I've noticed this and this been going on. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? Blase, blase. Get to the bottom of the problem. If you can't get down to the bottom of the problem, then y'all need to take it y'all need to take it up the chain. So y'all can't figure out what the problem is. Cause I don't sit back and say, for instance, I don't sit back and, oh my God, this and this at work. Nah. I think positive even when I'm having a bad day. Even when I'm getting talked about. Cause it's clear that people who have to talk about you have no self-worth about themselves. Must mean that they hate themselves. Must mean that they view themselves in a different light. Must mean that. Because I'm not the type to really sit back and kiss nobody's ass or, I hold myself accountable. Just like my woman holds herself accountable. And that's how we should be in this life, is hold ourselves accountable for the actions. Because with every action is a reaction. You don't want to get to that reaction and it be something that you could have stopped. So think positive. For everybody going to work, think positive. Have positive thoughts in your mind when you go to work. Be a difference when you go to work. Be a changed person when you go to work. Because trust and believe me, the person I am now wasn't the person I was 7 years ago. All I wanted to do was fight. I had a chip on my shoulder, and all I wanted to do was hurt people. Didn't give a damn if it was verbal. Didn't give a damn if it was physical. And that's why they say I'm a nut. Because at any time I can go off like that. But that was how I used to be. Now I'm not like that no more. But that's still a part of me, and that's what I had to accept of what I've done. And that's what you call self-accountability. Because when you're an adult, when you start to mature, when you start to want things, when you start to, want to progress in life, you cannot progress in life if you do not have self-accountability. It won't happen. It's not going to happen. I don't care if you say, oh, well, let me change it. You're not going to know how to mature if you do not have God in your life. If you do not want to, if everything in your life is bad, then you need to figure out a way that you can fix it. You got to figure out a way where you can change yourself a brand new person. And that's all I'm going to say today. That's all I got to say today. Just be positive this week. And then you'll see how the next week's going to go. Then you see how the next week's going to go. Then you see how that other week's going to go. Be the positive change, because you never know who's watching you. And that's all I got to say today. Just be positive, learn, and love.